at? The bottle's getting empty up the Kraken. We stacking chips, all of it's what I want. Plus money winners, that's what I'm on. You can say I'm gone. I prefer elevated pub sports radio. Time to get educated, get produced. Leave the juice, letting loose with so much abuse that the bookies wanna call it truth. They getting slaughtered. Can't forget Jeff and low baggers in the chat. That's a lethal weapon 'cause we be pubbing.
All right, say hey everyone, welcome into another, well, I don't know if it's another edition, but it's an edition of Betting with Bouquett as I fill in for my biological hypothetical father, James the Bag, as he is flying to San Antonio for Pubapalooza. As always, we'll plug Pubapalooza, par 3 golf tournament, all that good stuff starting tomorrow, poker tournament. We've got our friend Sonny Dollywald as well as our guy for Sunday evening. That'll be a whole lot of fun. Second comedy show I've ever been to. I don't know if I really count last year's, but it will probably be my first one that I actually enjoy. So shout out to you. It's going to be fun.
The only reason I'm doing this is because of you?
Okay, well, good. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about that. Lovely. He's going to be a guest on the show, obviously, here soon. But we've got, obviously, serious business to attend to first because we've got a lot of games to talk about today. It's going to be a whole lot of fun. Some college basketball as well. Dabby Cab is actually on his way here, so he won't be on the show. So we're going to talk some general college basketball. I'll ask Bobano about his, kind of best favorite look on the board so far. He'll talk about all the games for net profit. I'll ask Billy as well because he's going to be on the show for NBA, and then he's obviously going to be betting the games as well. So, and I think he's still in the Mohegan Sun. So shout out to Billy. So we'll talk about him soon. And I want to hear what Sonny thinks about college basketball, so who knows? I'm sure he's got some great takes. I know he's a North Carolina guy, but we'll figure it out. So it's going to be a good episode. Might be a quicker show than usual, but it'll be a whole lot of fun. And this is, I would say this is the unofficial start of Pubapalooza, so I hope you guys are enjoying it. Let's get after it, and let's shout out to comments before. I'm glad it's going to be a whole lot of fun here. Rick J, appreciating the thumbnail. Those are my multiple personalities. I appreciate that. Franco, yeah, he's flying over here. Shout out to Rocco Marquel, as I'll call you. There's a Q in there. Let's pronounce that Q in there. And maybe I am a Thunder buddy today. I don't know. I haven't really, analyzed the NBA too hard. So that's why I've got my guy Billy Brisbane coming on. So he's going to talk about that. And I've had a good week, thankfully. So I can actually make some enthused bets here, so it's gonna be fun. Shout out to Razor. Thank you for the tits comments. I appreciate you. I do have nice tits, and you actually will see those tits on the tattoo video. Tattoo done officially. It's on my arm, as you guys can see. Lovely, go me. Dude made me take off my shirt for the tattoo, so it was kind of funny and hilarious. And it's just like, all right, well, I guess the world's gonna see my tits now. So shout out to my tits. It's going to be a whole lot of fun. Winetine, Joseph, Subhuman Gaucho. By the way, shout out to Joseph. He's out here for the UFC. Joseph, come swing by some of our events. It's going to be a good time. Shout out to you, guy. And he has an extra seat, so who knows? So wants to go hang out with my guy Joseph, come on through. You might be able to pick up an offer for that. And shout out to Subhuman also saying he's 1-0 tailing me, 1-0 after Japan. Appreciate that. I got a lot of love for the Japan bet, and it is nice to actually win a bet and cash big. So that's very nice. But let's get into the NHL. Let's get into college basketball here with our next guest. I talk to him almost daily, so shout out to my man here. I cannot wait to speak to him, especially because he knows what he's talking about when it comes to the NHL, and I do not. So it's going to be a fun time talking to him. Mr. Ian Cameron Bobano on the show. Ian, how are you?
I'm doing good, Jose. I've actually held off saying this until we knew for sure what the hell was going down, but we're going to have to eventually make the announcement now. There will be no Ian Cameron at Pubapalooza, sadly, this weekend. I won't go into the details other than it's a passport issue, something totally out of my control. It sucks. It really does. But hey, there'll be more events in the future, and I'll be at them. And to be honest with you, I've accepted it. I'll survive. Jose, it would have been worse, to be quite honest, if this was last year and this had happened. the very first time getting down there to see everybody, and the first Pubapalooza. And this is going to be a great one too. And I hope everyone has a great weekend there. Enjoy it. I'm sure it'll be awesome. But I would have felt like, as bad as this feels today, would have felt a lot worse missing the first one because of this stupid shit. So, but it is what it is. But we'll see. I am here to do, by the way, if I know NBA Pub Up Friday and the Saturday college basketball Pub Up, I know the guys will be down there, many of them. But I'm here. They can beam me in remotely if you want me to join. So it is what it is. Disappointing to miss, but hey, life goes on, and we'll be doing more pub events. So
yes, we'll be here again next year. So I will be excited to see you then, of course. And of course, yeah, we can beam you in. So it's going to be fun. And Sonny, with a good question. If you're not here, then why is he even here? Bobano, he just loves you that much. So it's going to be a fun time, though. And we appreciate you still, Bobano. And we appreciate your expertise when it comes to the NHL here and college basketball. I wanted to quickly start off with college basketball because that's the talk of the town, obviously.
You're not leaving, Sun Dizzle. You're staying right there.
Yeah, there's a talk of the town with the college basketball, and everyone wants to know. You've got NCAA net profit coming up here in a couple of hours. So I didn't want you to give the whole bushel of picks out before, but I did want to ask you if there was a game that you were particularly enthused about today that you were excited to see in some form or fashion, or a bet that you were already like, this is I know you've made all your bets because you make your bets very early, but is there a particular bet that you've particularly excited to watch or excited to cash here?
It's amazing how these matchups, there's a lot of really good matchups here in the Sweet 16, intriguing games. I mean, you look down the board, Tennessee, that rugged physical brand of basketball that they brought to Duke. Can they bring it again against a Florida Atlantic team that's got a lot of offensive capabilities, and I think maybe has a little more mental and physical toughness, dare I say it, than Duke, maybe to handle Tennessee. So I'm excited to see that matchup. But at the same time, Florida Atlantic and the bright lights of the Sweet 16 and Madison Square Garden, the Florida Atlantic in awe, a little bit of that. You sometimes worry about that with the big dog and the lower seeded teams at this stage of the tournament. Is the big stage too much to handle? What guard play we're going to see with Michigan State and Kansas State. I mean, my goodness, Tyson Walker on one side, Marquise Noel on the other, with the way both of them can play, make shots, facilitate the offense. How good is that matchup going to be? I mean, in terms of backcourt play, if you love your guard play, you're going to love that game with Michigan State and Kansas State. Arkansas and UConn. The UConn toughness, defense, inside-outside game against the full court, 40 minutes of pressure that Eric Musselman's Arkansas team is going to bring. What a matchup that is. Gonzaga, UCLA, they have tons of NCAA tournament history, going all the way back to Adam Morrison, of course, in the mid-2000s, that epic game they had way back in the day. The classic they just had a couple of years ago in the Final Four with Jalen Suggs draining it at the buzzer in overtime to send Gonzaga to the national championship game. So Gonzaga and UCLA have a lot of tournament history. That's a great game. Look at the games tomorrow, Jose. Houston and Miami. Miami, there's no one, I think, hotter than them. And now they're going up against the team that all season's been one of the best teams in the country. The Houston Cougars, a perennial contender. What a great matchup there. Xavier's red hot, playing a very, very strong Texas team. That's a great matchup of offense versus defense, in my opinion. Texas's defense is great. Xavier can obviously score in bunches, so that's a great stylistic matchup. You got, I think, your physical, beatdown or physical, war of the Sweet 16 might be San Diego State and Alabama, with the way the Aztecs play defense and the physicality there that they throw at the Alabama Crimson Tide, who are a freight train right now. Hard to step in front of them, but this Aztecs team, man, they can play D. What a great matchup there potentially if San Diego State can hold their own. And then the Cinderella of the bunch, Princeton. No one thought they'd be here. They'd knock off Arizona. They knock off Missouri. And now they're playing a Creighton team that's playing like they did back in November when they looked like a top 5 team in the country. So that's a pretty interesting matchup. Cinderella have another fairy tale story in their repertoire. So it's a great Sweet 16. As far as one game, because I'm not going to give it away all because I'll be back on net profit later today, I'll give you one pick right now for the games tonight. I think Arkansas is very live to beat UConn. And I think the matchups for Arkansas work for a couple of reasons. Number one, their pressure. Okay, and the one issue we've had all year about UConn, can the guards take care of the basketball? Can they make good plays, good decisions, and can they make shots? And it's not easy. Arkansas puts a lot of pressure on the guards, whoever they play. And it's not going to be easy when UConn, to me, doesn't have the guard play that some other teams do here in the NCAA tournament. So I think the stylistic matchup here, there's some things that work in Arkansas's favor here, in my opinion. So, when I look at the matchup here, I think they can frustrate the UConn guards. Now, I don't know if they have an answer for Adama Sanogo. That's the one area of concern I'd have for Arkansas, because he's been a man possessed. He's been dominating on the glass, been scoring inside and feasting, in the low post. And I'm not sure Arkansas is equipped really to handle him. So, it'll be interesting. But I think against that guard play of UConn, if this game's close late, that's when you've got to make your guards have to play well. There is no question about that. And Arkansas's got the prototype of a team that can force a UConn backcourt that, to me, is not as good as some of the other backcourts still remaining in this tournament, into some mistakes, into some turnovers. And that's where, and Arkansas is just lethal in the open court. And transition off turnovers, you're going to have a very, very hard time stopping them. So, I think in this game here, I'm not saying Arkansas will win, because you have to respect the way UConn's played. They've had back-to-back games where they have just absolutely destroyed their opponent in the second half. They did it to Iona. They did it to St. Mary's. But with all due respect to Iona and St. Mary's, I think Arkansas's got a little bit better brand of athlete, a little bit better brand of athleticism, and I think that is going to be a bigger challenge here for UConn. So I do like the points with Arkansas. You can get 4.5 right now at BetMGM. I think that's the best number out there. So we'll go with that for my one pick for the show here. Arkansas plus 4.5. I'll have the rest of my card later today on Net Profit at 5 p.m. Eastern.
Beautiful. Awesome. Thank you, Bobano, for that college basketball little comprehensive look over there. Appreciate it. So let's get into the NHL now. And obviously, got a big old slate of NHL games. A lot of people excited about it, a lot of people not. But betting on hockey is very fun. Shout out to Jimmy and the lads yesterday. They cashed on Edmonton and Arizona in that first period. I believe Gokster had first period over, and then Jimmy had Arizona first period. They cash. It was a great time.
I had a draw in that game, plus 525. So I think everybody was happy. Yeah.
Yeah. So I see. There you go. Beautiful game there. Shots to the Coyotes battling a minus 500 there. So it's been fun betting on hockey recently. So let's get into it. With first game on our slate, we've got the Minnesota. I don't know why I was going to call the Minnesota Wild or Flyers, but Minnesota Wild versus the Flyers there. Mixing up my team names already to start off the show. So I've got some goalies confirmed. Shout out to Daily Faceoff. So we'll see if they come in right along on the show. Carter Hart unconfirmed for the Flyers, but we've got Flower, Marc-Andre Fleury, a.k.a. the king of fighting goalies right now after that little dust-up. He didn't get after Binnington, but I think he is the king right now just for going out there. Shout out to Mark. Good matchup here. I've heard a lot about the Wild this year, Bobano. Jimmy obviously was really down on them, but it seems like they're going to go over the 99.5 points here. They're a favorite on the road here. I know the Flyers aren't the best, but it's kind of shocking to see them as such a big favorite as on the road. But I guess that might be just a reflection on the Flyers. What do you think about this game, Bobano?
Yeah, I think when you look at this one, Wild and the Flyers, Minnesota should win, but Philadelphia just beat Florida. Florida, a team needing points, and Florida needed the points more than Minnesota does. And Florida's playing for just trying to get in the playoffs as a wild card. So this Philadelphia team shows that they can still be capable of playing spoiler, and that's one thing you want to keep in mind here. And Minnesota off a 2-1 win against New Jersey. That's their second win in a row. They've won 3 of their last 4 games, but they've gone to beyond regulation 3 of their last 10 games. I think the draw is actually appealing to me, and I've been going really, really wild betting these, no pun intended, going with the draws here lately in the NHL, and we saw it last night. We saw another game that went to overtime with Edmonton and Arizona. I just don't think this is going to be an easy game for the Minnesota Wild. Sometimes, especially on the road, they don't make it easy on themselves. The Philadelphia Flyers, especially at home, we've seen this team give an effort. Sometimes it's been ugly, but I was very impressed with them against Florida the other night. Panthers needed the 2 points badly, and Philadelphia ends up beating them. I think this is a pretty competitive game. Minnesota should win, but I would consider the draw here. I think it's got potential to go beyond 60 minutes. Draw at plus 334 definitely appeals to me a little bit.
I always love a draw bet. Shout out to
There's a bunch I like tonight. Draw.
Yep. I love that. Let's move on as we keep this brisk pace going here. A matchup I'll be interested to keep an eye on. A huge favorite. Shout out to my Boston Bruins here. Also, shout out to Jimmy because he told me not to make the futures on the bet on the Bruins. I didn't, and now I regret that. But it's all right. It's all right. Shout out to Jimmy. Montreal Canadiens versus the Bruins here. Big rivalry. Everyone in Boston hates Montreal. It's one of those things everyone knows. Historic, etc., etc. Kind of tough to find a bet in this game, I'm sure, Bobano.
So I definitely lean with every Montreal game right now, Jose. I lean over 6.5 because they are just awful defensively. They've been giving up goals in bunches. The goaltending of Allen and Montembeault hasn't been great, but it's been more the play in front of them has been terrible. They've been giving up big numbers, big amounts of goals lately. So it's over or pass for me. But the one issue is we're talking 6.5, and it's Boston. And this is not exactly an easy team always to go over the total, the Boston Bruins. The Boston Bruins are kind of more of an under team. They're capable of shutting this thing down. We saw a 2-1 win for them against Ottawa in their last game. So I haven't bet it yet. A strong lean over 6.5, though, if I were to get involved. Jake Allen's confirmed in net for Montreal. We don't know yet who's going to be in goal for Boston, but it appears like it might be Linus Ullmark once again. Here tonight, but it just hasn't been confirmed yet. Derek Forbert, by the way, is out on the blue line for Boston. And I do want to point out Kirby Dach returned from injury and Brendan Gallagher as well in Montreal's last game against Tampa Bay. So I do think they're a little bit better offensively now with those two guys back. So, I do think that the Montreal Canadiens can chip in at least a goal or two, even against this Bruins team. And Boston, if they get 4 or 5 and Montreal gets at least 2, the game can go over the total. So I'm waiting on lineup confirmations, especially the goaltender for Boston. But yeah, the bet I'm looking to make here is over 6.5.
Funny because when you said Ullmark was the guy that you saw projected or whatever, I have Swayman on the other side. So that's funny. Yeah, I mean, both of them are I obviously like Linus a lot better, but Swayman has won me over in moments. So shout out to Mr. Jeremy Swayman here. A question real quick for you from Markel. Bruins team total over there, Bobano. I've got double checking here. I've got a Bruins team total over at 4.5 at plus 125. I'm sure you can get a better line somewhere else as well. But what do you think about Bruins team total?
Oh, I wouldn't say no to it. Montreal, obviously, they've been giving up goals in bunches as of late. It's just the team defense hasn't been there. Penalty killing struggled. It's been all of those things combined for the Montreal Canadiens. The only problem with the team total is we're talking 4.5, not the 3.5. I like 4.5 is a little trickier, but I still think they could get to 5. I mean, you look at Montreal. The last game they held the team below 5 finally, but before that it was 5 for Tampa against Montreal, 9 for Florida against them, 4 for Pittsburgh, 8 for Colorado. They've had some ugly performances, but there were a couple that Tampa only scored 2. Pittsburgh scored 4 against them. 2 and 4 ain't going to get the job done. So you're not getting a bargain with that team total by any stretch.
Beautiful, yeah. So I thought the same thing. 4.5 seems kind of dicey, but I have plus money for it. So if that's what you want to do, that's what you want to do. Let's move on. A good matchup here. Hopefully we see this matchup in the playoffs as well. Rangers versus the Hurricanes. Dennis Garcia says that this Carolina Hurricanes team is the best team in hockey as well. So shout out to DG wherever you are out there. Rangers, a good squad too. Obviously, the Patrick Kane trade is starting to flower, as they say. He's been scoring goals I've seen. Looks great in the jersey as well, so I love that for him. But we're here to talk about this game, which is going to be a tough one. I've got Freddie Anderson as likely, so we'll see how that ends up going. And then unconfirmed, obviously, we'll see what the Rangers put out. It might be Igor. I assume it would be Igor in a big matchup like this, but we'll see in that case. 6 is a pretty light total for what I've seen so far in this hockey game or all this hockey slate. But, honestly, I'd lean under because I think this might be a gritty matchup, Bobano.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's this is one where it depends on the goaltending here as well. I mean, Freddie Anderson and Igor Shesterkin were the goalies the other night. It wouldn't surprise me if we see that again here in this game. I do lean Rangers here actually a little bit. Short turnaround revenge, home and home. Carolina won the other night. Maybe Rangers already won in Carolina earlier this year. So I think the Rangers, I'm definitely got them circled here, looking at them plus 120 potentially in this game. They're fully healthy, by the way, this New York Rangers team. Not a single person on their injury report right now. So definitely, I think this is a spot where I'm definitely looking at the Rangers side. We're just waiting to see if Halak is in that changes things a little bit. But if it is Shesterkin, I think the Rangers are not a bad side here. Plus 120. Remember, they won in Carolina, and they looked really impressive in doing so earlier this year. So I'm definitely looking at Rangers here.
A little Rangers spot as well. I'd probably lean that way as well. Shout out to Real Deal Prime mentioning this comment about the Bruins, and maybe if you make mistakes against them, they will make you pay. So shout out to you as well. A little Rabenga here for Billy Friedrich as well. And a little spreadsheet action from Ron Crawford. We'll do double barrel this time. A little Seattle spreadsheet play today for the NHL. And what might be the most hotly contested game of the night now. He's also on a UConn spreadsheet as well on the NCAA side. Been seeing a lot of back and forth on that Razor. He's also seems like he's on Arkansas. Mike M. He's on UConn.
I don't think it's a secret that Razor likes Arkansas as I do. So there we go.
There we go.
Sounds like it. Yeah.
It's going to be a lot of fun to watch this matchup. But shout out to Ron Crawford as always. All right, let's move on to our next
16, folks. You can make a case for both sides in all these games. That's the thing. Yeah.
Well, yeah, 1,000%. It's going to be a great matchup. We like seeing cappers on both sides. Seeing who's going to come out on top is always fun. A part of all of this. Blues, Detroit Red Wings, as I was going to call them with my wisp apparently now. Shout out to the Red Wings, man, because I was growing up at the time where they were dominating, and I obviously wasn't paying attention to hockey, but I just knew the Red Wings were really good. And they've obviously went down to the shitter. They've been in the shitter for a long time now, and it seems like Bobano, this is like I would say last year they were kind of climbing out of it, but this is the year they were like, okay, we can take you guys as a serious hockey team now. That I don't think they're going to make the playoffs. You can correct me if I'm wrong there, but they're a serious team now. It seems like, and the Blues kind of on the opposite trend there. They're going down, down, down. They made all those trades. I've refreshed to see who we got so far in this game. I've got Magnus Hellberg. That's a great name, by the way. Magnus Hellberg. Awesome name. As likely and unconfirmed Bennington. We'll see how that goes. I know there's been some goalie drama on that front here. But what do you think on this game, Bobano?
Yeah, I definitely like lean, I should say. I haven't bet it yet, but I think I might. The Blues here, plus 105. They lost at home to Detroit. Now they're in Detroit. And Jacob Braun is making his return to Detroit. That's what I like the most in this game. Everything Jacob Braun betted. And there was just this article that was released in The Athletic about his experience with Detroit. They say they didn't give him a fair shake. They said, they tried to let him work through his injuries, and then they just decided, hey, we're trading you. And apparently wasn't very happy about it. So back to Detroit, in Detroit, playing the Red Wings for the first time in Detroit. You can imagine Jacob Braun is chomping at the bit to make an impact, score a goal, and do some damage here against the Red Wings tonight. So I definitely think Jacob Braun, shots on goal prop, point prop, anything that you can find with Jacob Braun is worth a look here tonight against Detroit. And I think St. Louis has a decent chance to bounce back. Again, that was a tough game. Could have went either way. It ended up going to a shootout, and Detroit beat St. Louis the other night. I think it's, both of these teams are going nowhere. They're playing for exercise. They're not making the playoffs. And the Red Wings have not been good at home lately either. They got trounced by Colorado, crushed by Florida in their last two home games. Yeah, Blues for me plus 105, and even more than that, I like Jacob Braun as props. That's the even stronger bet to me than the Blues.
All right, some little Jacob Braun. We love a motivated player against his old squad. I feel like
he's red hot and on fire right now. Like he's in good current form offensively as well. So that's a big part of it too.
I see a lot of those bets from you, Bobano, when we do these shows. I always do take a mental note. I'm like, Bobano again on a former player against his old squad. It just makes sense. It just makes a whole lot of sense. So I get it as well. All right, let's move on. Another great matchup here. Toronto Maple Leafs versus the Florida Panthers. I was shocked at the amount of Florida Panthers billboards there were when I was in Miami, Fort Lauderdale I don't know why the stadium or arena, whatever we're calling it, is in Fort Lauderdale because there's no one there. But shout out to the Panthers. It's it's a great place. I've got a, I thought they would be. I don't know. I thought there would be a better squad. I'm pretty sure this is the squad. Again, correct me if I'm wrong. I'm trying to flex my hockey knowledge on people. They traded for the Kachuk brother, and I thought they would be better, but they're a minus 140 favorite here against the Maple Leafs, who I'm fairly certain they're locked into their first round matchup against the Lightning already. So they're, are they skating to just run out the season? What are they playing for here, Bobano? I'm sure you'll enlighten us about that as well. But what do you think about this game? It's going to be a good one, I'm sure. And by the way, that total at 7, immediately I hear my guy Mike M saying it's like every total at 7 here, the under is gone, like 98% or whatever it is. So yeah, Bobano, I'll pass it to you.
I don't have much on this game sidewise anyway. And the total, I definitely want over 6.5, but I'm not betting it over 7. And like I've said on every show that I do hockey, I always say if it's a 7 and I like the over, I'm waiting until in game. I'm waiting until the first 5 minutes and I can get a 6.5. I'm not at the point where I love betting 7s, especially at this time of year. So that's what I did with Arizona Edmonton last night. I waited till it got down to 6.5. It did eventually. And I bet the over 6.5, and that's what I'm going to look to do here is over 6.5. Matt Murray is going to be in net for Toronto. I know that because Samsonov. Well, it's not that he struggled. It's just that they're going back and forth. They're giving him some rest because his wife is pregnant and about to give birth any day. So they want to get they don't want him to start every single game at this point in time. And Matt Murray is expected to be in. Sergei Bobrovsky in net for Florida. There is a key injury for Florida. Sam Bennett, left the last game due to injury, and I don't think he's playing tonight for the Panthers. He's had a solid year, 16 goals, 24 assists, 40 points. So they'll miss him. Toronto is definitely going to, I think, bring a good effort tonight. They had an ugly game against the Islanders, 7-2 the other night. Things fell apart in the second half of the game, especially the third period. Florida's been an over machine. 5 of their last 6 games have gone over. But Florida's been really good at home lately. I mean, they're on, I believe, a 5-game home winning streak entering tonight. They beat Pittsburgh, Vegas, Chicago, Montreal, New Jersey in those 5 home games. So they're playing well at home. They need this win. They need the 2 points every time they take the ice. Pittsburgh won last night against Colorado. Means that pushed Florida out of the playoffs. Florida's 1 point back of Pittsburgh now for that second wild card spot. So definitely, I think this is a huge game for Florida. They played well at home. So that's why I don't want to go against either side. I think Toronto wants to play much better after the bad game against the Islanders. I think they bring it. I think Florida brings it as well after a loss to Philly back home where they played well. I think they bring it. So I'm going to look at over 6.5 live. And Rocco's on to something, maybe first period, both teams to score. I could totally see that in this game. I could see 1-1 for sure in the opening period. I don't mind that bet at all. I think it's definitely something you can see in this game. As far as there are a couple props I did want to mention here with this game. Alex Barkov just continues to be shooting the puck like crazy. 7 shots on goal the last game. 3 before that. 6-4, 3-3-3, 5. I think the captain, even though he's been more of a playmaker, not so much a goal scorer, I think he figures, hey, these games are important. I've got to try to score and shoot the puck as much as possible. So Alex Barkov over shots on goal makes sense. I've been talking about betting E2 Cool Mint Lusterinen quite a bit.
What a name.
Yeah, E2 Lusterine. I call him the Listerine man because his last name sounds like Listerine. And a Cool Mint Lusterinen, I say, huh?
Geez, what a name that is. All right,
Yeah.
shout out to that guy. Wow.
A point prop for him, I think, is worth a look. And maybe you look at Calle Yarncroke for Toronto because he's been good since they moved him up to the top line. But that's it for this game. Nothing on the side. Few props. First period, both teams to score. I like that. I might sprinkle on it, and I'm going to look for a live over 6.5.
All right, beautiful. I'll be honest. Shout out to Mike M. First bet of the day for me. I took the under 7 here. He says 90%. He cashes it. All that good stuff. Shout out to him. So I'm on the under 7 officially here. And I'll talk about my college basketball bet that I made as well very soon. So it'll be a whole lot of fun to talk about that. Next game, the aforementioned Tampa Bay Lightning versus the Ottawa Senators. The most exciting thing about the Ottawa Senators right now is that Ryan Reynolds is going to try to buy the Ottawa Senators. And I hope he does. It'll be very interesting to see if that happens. Shout out to Mint Mobile. I have to get used to the Tampa Bay Lightning not being the full juggernaut, I guess, because minus 145 against the Ottawa Senators. Even it's in Ottawa, I'd still lean Lightning. Honestly, I just think they've always seemed to be the juggernaut in my head, and maybe that's just a vividness bias. A shout out to Jimmy, but I ultimately lean towards the Lightning here. But my leans don't matter here as much as yours here, Bobano. So I'm excited to see what you have to say here. Goalie wise, I'll refresh one more time to see if we got any more confirmations. We still got a likely Mad Sogard, another fantastic name, by the way. And Andre is unconfirmed, so we'll see what the Lightning put out there, but I assume it will be Vasi out there. I have nightmares about that guy. That guy's a fucking terror. But shout out to him. So what do you think about this game, Bobano?
Yeah, I'm not really rushing to late, minus 145 with Tampa Bay in this spot. Now, they lost to Montreal. That's actually 2 losses in a row because they lost to New Jersey before that. Ottawa, this is a much more important game for Ottawa. Ottawa is trying to just survive and hang on to in this playoff race. They need every win they can get. The margin for error is very, very small right now for the Ottawa Senators. And again, Tampa Bay just has that look of kind of going through the motions right now in some games, just trying to bide time for the playoffs to get here. I think they know they're not going to beat Toronto for the home ice in the first round. If Toronto's still 3 points up on Tampa Bay and 2 games in hand on Tampa Bay as well. So I just think they're coasting right now. I think just from a motivational standpoint, you can't lay minus 145 with Tampa Bay. This is a much bigger game for Ottawa. They are playing hard. They beat Pittsburgh. They gave Boston everything they could handle the other night, losing 2-1. They outshot Boston. They had 40 shots on goal. So this Ottawa team is not rolled over. They still believe it's not going to be easy. They've got a lot of work to do. They got to win, as many games down the stretch as possible, but they still have that belief. So it's Ottawa or nothing for me. I haven't bet it yet, but Ottawa or pass.
Okay, Ottawa or pass.
There's another one too, maybe the over. A couple low-scoring games for Ottawa the last couple games, but man, tons of chances, tons of shots. At some point, those shots and chances will turn into goals. It could be tonight.
All right, beautiful. By the way, shout out to Nasty Nate and company outside the studio as well. Appreciate you for commenting along. Shout out to Big Show as well outside as well. Shout out to the gang. Next game on our slate, Blackhawks Capitals here. The Blackhawks are the pond scum of the NHL, and I do not hope they get Bedard, but I do hope they keep losing. So it's a very trying situation for me here. Capitals, Blackhawks right now, goalie-wise, we've got Darcy Kemper at least confirmed for your Capitals. Alex Stalock unconfirmed, but that is what Daily Faceoff is showing, so that could obviously change. But we've got Sergei in for the Capitals. What do you think about this game, Bobano?
This one, draw. Definitely, I could see this one being a draw with the Blackhawks and Capitals. I mean, Washington, that looked like a stick a fork in them. They're done. Loss against Columbus. That's a horrible loss. I mean, they're at home against the Jackets, who have been playing awful for Columbus, especially defensively. And Washington ends up losing 7-6 against them the other night. I mean, Washington can't stop anything defensively right now. They've been giving up goals lately. The over could be in play here, but at the same time, Chicago has just stopped scoring all of a sudden. I mean, their offense is just dead. Maybe Washington will be the elixir to fix that. But, I mean, Chicago the last few games, 2 goals, 0. 4 in the last 3 games combined. That's not good for the Blackhawks. The offense has gone dormant in these last few games. So, if you have faith in them coming alive here, then maybe you can look over. I'd certainly lean that way. I mean, Washington's over the total 6 straight games for them heading into this one. It's been an over series history with Chicago, Washington, too. 5 straight head-to-head meetings have gone over the total. So it'll probably be a small bet for me, over 6. But, man, it's not easy to bet over Chicago right now. They're just not scoring. The offense is just absolutely at a stalemate.
All right. See, that's the snooze game of this slate, I think. This game, I don't feel like anyone's going to watch. So let's just move on from that one immediately. Kraken versus the Predators here. I have a soft spot for the Kraken. I don't know why. I kind of have a soft spot for all the expansion squads. Not Vegas as much because obviously they had so much success to begin with. But definitely the Kraken, I do have a soft spot. It might be the jerseys as well. Who knows? No confirmed goalie so far for this game. UC Saros and Martin Jones is on what is on Daily Faceoff. But who knows what that's going to happen. And by the way, Swayman confirmed for the Bruins as well. So shout out to the chat there. Ultimately, again, I don't know if my soft spots are the Kraken's leaning me towards that side, but I'm pretty surprised that they'd be a favorite on the road against Nashville. What do you think?
This is a huge game for Nashville. I mean, Nashville is actually still somehow hanging around in the playoff race, and they're not totally out of it yet. And if they're going to hope to get into the wild card, this is a back-to-back, by the way, for these two teams. They play tonight in Nashville, and the same two teams, Seattle, Nashville, Saturday as well. They play in Nashville, so it's a huge back-to-back set. Nashville is 5 points behind Winnipeg for the second wild card, and so this is a must for Nashville. But I think Seattle's the better of these two teams. Seattle's been good on the road. This is a draw for me, honestly. This is Seattle and or draw or both. And I might sprinkle on both here, Seattle and the draw. I think it's a very close game. It's an important game. I don't think Seattle. I don't think Nashville can catch Seattle. Well, I shouldn't say that. They beat Seattle twice. All of a sudden, they're 3 points behind Seattle. So I shouldn't look at it that way. But Seattle's the better of these two teams still. I truly believe that, even though they've gone through some struggles. That was a huge win for them against Dallas, just to get a little confidence back the other night. They got they've still been able to score a lot of goals as well with Vince Dunn and Jamie McCann. They've played very well. Jared McCann, I should say, for the Seattle Kraken. They've played extremely well for this group. I still worry about their D. I still worry about the goaltending a little bit, but that was a huge win in Dallas. They're better than Nashville. I would lean Seattle here, but I think I like the draw even more. I think it's got a real shot to go to overtime. And again, plus 340 with that.
I love these draw shots you're taking. I love them. Quick question from our friend, Diehard MMA. Shout out to Clint. How live are you guys for this Kraken Coach of the Year? Who do you think?
It probably won't happen, Clint, but because I think Jim Montgomery's already locked it up, quite honestly. I mean, I would be absolutely stunned that a coach that's had a team that's had one of the historically best NHL seasons ever doesn't get the Jack Adams Trophy. So I think it's Jim Montgomery's. Honestly, that's who's going to get it.
Shut down, Clint. Shut down. There you go.
He's in the mix, Hackstall, but I just don't think he's going to get it over Montgomery.
No, I agree with you. They've been on pace to break the points record for the whole season, apparently. So it'll be very fun.
You can say the same thing about Lindy Ruff. You can say the same thing about Jay Woodcroft. Anyone you want to put in the McClellan. Anyone you want to put in that Jack Adams coaching race. They're all very valid, worthy winners, but I think it's going to end up being Jim Montgomery.
And shout out, now we're talking Calder Cup in the chat now. So shout out to you guys.
Tell you what, it looked like Matty Beniers' Calder Trophy to lose, I should say, all this season so far for Seattle. But Michelli's playing really good, and all of a sudden Wyatt Johnston is coming on like a freight train for Dallas, and I think he's thrown his hat into the mix.
Beautiful. All right, little talking trophies as well here on this NHL segment. Vegas versus Calgary here. I guess Jimmy's hate of Calgary is kind of transferred to me now. I don't know why I don't like Calgary. It's just one of those things. Sonny shook his head vigorously when he said that as well. So it might be fuck the Calgary Flames now. That's what it might be. Who knows? Vegas here playing against them as well. So I'm sure Jimmy's sick just thinking about this game. Hates both squads. Wants somehow for them both to lose here. But a plus 125 for Vegas is kind of appealing. I'm not going to lie. But my voice got higher there because I don't know what I'm talking about. So what do you think here, Babano?
This is definitely, of all the potential draw candidates tonight, there might not be a better one than this game. I think this one definitely, the draw is live. I could absolutely see this game going to overtime. Calgary at home especially, we saw them go to overtime against Dallas. Vegas, of course, played, I think, a lot of close. They throw out the Columbus game because it was just a mismatch, but I definitely think this could be a draw here in this game. It could be a close competitive matchup between these two teams. Like I say, Calgary's gone to overtime or a shootout in 3 of the last 10 games, and even Vegas, 2 of the last 10, they've gone beyond regulation. They've played a couple games that were 2-goal games with an empty net goal, and then the 1-goal game against Vancouver the other night. So I do like the draw. And I actually, even though Calgary, is playing for their season right now, and they need every win they can get, I am still looking at Vegas, if anything, in this game, because Vegas got absolutely crushed by the Calgary Flames last week in Vegas. And Vegas was coming back home off a long road trip. It's a really tricky spot for them. I think this is an opportunity for Vegas to bounce back here. I'm not laying a buck. Now it's up to $1.50 on Calgary with this team and how flighty they can be. No, I think Vegas actually comes back here. They know that Calgary pummeled them last week. It would be a Vegas and draw split for me in this one.
Quick question from our guy Billy Friedrich as well. On the draws, do you just like the over there as well, full game? Is that just kind of like 1-1 thing there?
I don't love the total here because Calgary always has a lot of shots on goal, but they don't always have a lot of goals. That's always the issue.
I've heard about that. Yeah,
that's been an issue. I've called them the Calgary Sternums because that's the only place they shoot the puck on the opposing goalie into the sternum. So it's definitely been something I've criticized them for. So I'm lukewarm on the total in this one. I will say Vegas has gone over in 5 straight games. Suddenly they're trending over, and it's been 4 of the last 5 for Calgary. And somehow when these two teams play, 3 of the last 4 have gone over. So if you're a trend guy, you definitely like the over. I lean that way, but I don't love it.
All right, there we go. And by the way, Joel Hofer, not Hoffer, Hofer, confirmed for the Blues as well.
He should be. He finally lost against Detroit, but it really wasn't his fault. He still played well.
Okay, beautiful. I love a good goalie battle, especially because I do not like Jordan Binnington for what he did to the Bruins in that Stanley Cup. Can't believe that happened still. Penguins versus the Dallas Stars here. I've been hearing a lot of talk about the Penguins, Bobano. I've been hearing a lot of talk because this is their last dance. This is what I've heard, et cetera, et cetera. Sidney Crosby, he's not retiring, I think. I think he's probably going to go to the Avalanche is what the scuttlebutt is, obviously because he's good buddies with Nate McKinnon and all that good stuff. Who knows? And then I don't know what they're going to do with Malkin and all that, all those pals over there, Bobano. But I've heard time and time again this is their last dance, et cetera, et cetera. And I've seen a lot of Dallas Stars comments in the chat right there. Make America Great Again said he likes the Penguins tonight, but I don't know how I feel about the Dallas Stars because again, all I hear is Jimmy talking about the Stars and shitting all over them. So I don't know if they're good or bad. I know they've got some good name players on there, but they just seem to never come through. So what do you think about this squad here?
It's just so Pittsburgh if they lose tonight, and it'd be after a huge win against Colorado because that's been their season. Up one day, down the next, and that's why they're battling for their lives right now to make the playoffs. But they are in a spot right now, the last wild card spot, 1 point up on Florida after a huge win for them last night against Colorado, and they totally deserved it. They outplayed the Avs. That was impressive as it gets. But now I worry about them here back to back, and it definitely feels Dallas. And Dallas is still the better of these two teams, in my opinion. So, I don't want Pittsburgh tonight. I like the draw here, though. I think Pittsburgh can compete here still in this game. And Dallas doesn't win games easily. Let's be honest. Dallas does not win games easily. Even at home, how many Dallas home games lately have gone to overtime? I mean, it seems like every game's a nail biter, down to the wire game for them lately. They've gone to overtime 3 of the last 7 games. 3 of the last 6 games entering this one. This has been a team that's played a lot of close 1-goal games. They're actually up there in terms of the teams in the NHL that have played the most 1-goal games this year, the Dallas Stars. I think we get a pretty competitive game. And by the way, we've seen 3 straight meetings between these two teams be decided by 1 goal. 2-1 October 2021, 3-2 Dallas January of last year, and then earlier this year in Pittsburgh, it was 2-1 Pittsburgh. All of them could have went to overtime. So give me the draw here as well.
Beautiful. A lot of good comments coming in on this game there. Imps liking Stars first period, -0.5. Stars and reg there. Markel asking about a little Dallas first period under there, Bobano, if you have any thoughts on that. And Rick J also saying a live first period, live under after the first period. So people liking the under here. What do you think?
This one actually I could see the under because I don't think Dallas is thrilled with giving up the 5 spot to Seattle. But at the same time, I mean, they're 9-1 to the over in their last 10 games, which is they've suddenly transformed into an over team because they're just scoring in bunches. The under's been dominant in the series history. Let me see what Pittsburgh is on a back-to-back. They're 7 under, 6 overs, so slight edge to the under there. 4-9 they are, by the way, record-wise on the second night of back-to-back games. I think it could stay under, but Dallas not a team I'm betting under, not with 9-1 in the last 10.
I would like to bet Dallas today, so I'm gonna keep that in the back of my head. I'm gonna think of a way to bet Dallas here. I might lay the -150. Who knows? We'll see as always. Hello, Nasty Nate.
Tell Babano, go Providence, and NHL sucks.
Okay. Nasty Nate wanted to let me know or let you know
Oh, he's
that.
down there already. Good stuff,
Yeah.
Nate. Hope you're doing good. Hey, there's next year now. You got it's Kimmy English is going to lead your group now. So
Yeah. Okay. I'm glad you heard that. Yeah. The NHL sucks. Go Providence. Shouts to Kim English, by the way. Missouri? I think Missouri.
Missouri is where he played. George Mason is where he recently coached, and now he's the new head man at Providence after Ed Cooley bolted for Georgetown. It seems like a lateral move. You go from Providence to Georgetown. That's kind of weird to me.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Hopefully, they can get some transfers in. I hope the Big East comes back to being good.
And then I have to see people on Twitter talking about Georgetown like it's just the place to be to coach. I mean, my goodness, talking about how the tradition, the prestige, and the area, and the great recruits you can get there in the D.C. area and Georgetown. Yeah, 30 years ago, it's the last time they were good. I mean, I don't know about now, though.
God, this is gonna be a fun college basketball season next year as well. Winnipeg, Anaheim, next game up here. Just the most bled. I said the other game with Chicago, Washington was the most bled game on the card. This game is just like I just throw this game out the water for this. Minus 235. What are you gonna bet there for Winnipeg? Maybe like a first period team total. I don't know, but. And there's not even confirmed goalies so far because it's a later game, and that's kind of what you expect, obviously. The later the game, the longer it takes to confirm your goalies. So ultimately, I've got nothing here. Bobano, if you have a bet in this game, I'll be surprised.
Actually, you know what? There might be a bet for me in this game, and it's the bet I cashed with against Anaheim the other night, which was Calgary first period puck line. I might do that with Winnipeg here. First period puck line, just come out and take care of Anaheim early. Get the lead. You should be able to. And that's the one thing that Winnipeg's been good at. Even in the Arizona game, they barely won. They had a good start. Their best period was the first period. They jumped out to a 2-0 lead. They kind of let Arizona hang around, at that point after that. And maybe that happens tonight. But the one thing we've seen from Winnipeg is that they can come out strong in the first period. So that's what I'm going to look at here. Most likely we'll be on this in this Winnipeg Anaheim game is this first period puck line here with the Jet. I assume Hellebuck and net. They got to give them every start moving forward. These are too important, these games. So -0.5 plus 130 for the Jets in the first period is what I'm looking at.
All right, beautiful. By the way, if I want to bet the Stars money line, I've got a -145, and it's not that appealing, but we'll see what I can do later on in the program. Last game on our slate. It's come up once so quickly. Surprised we've gotten here, Bobano. Again, lovely talking to you as always and breaking down this NHL segment. If you're watching the show, as always, hit the like, comment along, subscribe, all that good stuff. And don't forget Net Profit today at 4 p.m. Central, 5 p.m. Eastern, if I'm doing my time zones correctly there. So shout out to you, Bobano. Let's talk about the Vancouver Canucks, which routinely get shit on this program. A team reviled on this program. We can't talk about them for too long or else, we might get sued for threatening to kneecap people, et cetera, et cetera. But today, I might be able to level-headedly talk about the Canucks here, and it's going to be fun, because they're favored against a San Jose Sharks team, which, I think obviously we know they're kind of over the hill, et cetera, et cetera. They got all rid of their parts and rebuilding, all that good stuff. I have heard, though, Bobano, that these Vancouver Canucks inexplicably have picked up their shit and they're starting to play well. Maybe some of their fans wanted them to keep tanking for Connor Bedard, and maybe this winning streak actually frustrates fans even more. But what's the lowdown on these Vancouver Canucks right now?
Yeah, I mean, they're playing a lot better. I mean, this Vancouver are nothing for me in this game. Sharks are not a team I'm looking to back. They have lost 7 straight games, although they have been competitive in some of these. I mean, 3 overtime losses. So it's not like they've been blown out in every game, but they're not finding ways to win. Vancouver's played great, really. 7-2 their last 9 games, and the losses were a 1-goal loss to Arizona and a 1-goal loss the other night at home to a very good Vegas team. And you could argue that they played better than Vegas for the last 2 periods of that game. So I would look at Vancouver in some form. Might do a split bet here on the Canucks, first period puck line and in regulation, which will be around even money. So Vancouver in regulation will be around even money, and the first period puck line will be about plus 150. I think I might split both of those. Vancouver should win this hockey game. Like I say, you're definitely seeing this team show signs of improvement under Rick Tocchet. They're playing a little bit better defensively. It helps to have your best goalie, Thatcher Demko, back from injury. Beauvillier's played great under Tocchet. Elias Pettersson's played great under Rick Tocchet. JT Miller's totally reborn, it seems, under Rick Tocchet, playing his best hockey in a long time. So Vancouver definitely, I think, wins this game. But again, you want to find better ways to bet Vancouver than minus 165 on the money line. You want to look at regulation line or maybe the first period puck line, which is what I'm going to do.
All right, there we go. And by the way, you said the magic phrase. Our girl Maggie Thatcher's back? She's back on the ice?
She is, yep. Indeed. Now, I don't know if they might give him a rest tonight, but I think he's still going to play tonight, Demko, once again for the Vancouver Canucks. He finally had a subpar game against Vegas, but I think he's bounces back here tonight against San Jose in this one. I kind of lean to the over, because, look, it's been an over series history. San Jose is kind of a team I want to bet over, but Vancouver's really played a little bit better defensively, and I think Demko wants to play better, so I'm pumping the brakes on that.
All right, beautiful. Shout out to Maggie Thacker. I mean, I get it. She's got old knees, you know? Gotta let the girls rest.
That's right. Yeah.
All right, let's break down or let's review this lovely little card you've got here, Ian. I've made 2 NHL bets on this card as well. Bet them just now. One's a little juicy, but we're gonna have a lot of fun on tonight, and it's gonna be a sweaty evening for one Jose Bouquett. I'll start this off, and I'll make it quick because my only got 2, and who knows? Tail me, fade me, do whatever you want. I am on that under 7 for the Toronto Maple Leafs Panthers game. Shout out to our guy Mike M. He said it was. I think he ended up saying it was 90% of those games go under or push. So I'm going to be interested to see how the under trend goes there. I got that at minus 120, so obviously juice. And I guess call me Peter Loshak. I should play the damn clip right now because I took ye old Dallas Stars money line minus 145. I just took the juice. Thank you, Pete.
Oh, yeah. Uh-oh. Huh?
Thank you, Pete Rose, as well. I laid the juice. I am taking the Stars money line and the under 7 there. Bobano, what are you on today?
In terms of the NHL, I'll just recap a quick hitter right now. I haven't locked in everything, but this is what I'll either be bet this already or will be. Mini Philly draw at a nice price there, over plus 300. I'll look for a live over with Toronto, Florida. New York Rangers, I'll probably be on them plus 130. Chicago, Washington, lean over in the draw. Lean over Montreal, Boston. Probably will be on Tampa, Ottawa over 6.5. I might even jump on Ottawa too, because I think Brian Elliott, from what I'm seeing, it looks like he might start tonight for Tampa Bay in net. So definitely an opportunity maybe for the Sens there. St. Louis, I like them. Jacob Brana props, definitely hit those. Seattle and the draw against Nashville. The draw for Pittsburgh, Dallas. Vegas, Calgary, Vegas in the draw. Winnipeg first period puck line. And Vancouver first period puck line and regulation split. There we go.
Beautiful. Bobano, thank you so much. Again, remember, Bobano back again today there's the burp. Here we go. I had a lovely burp there. Had to come out. But Bobano comes in, I should say, again. Does the show net profit, 4 p.m. Central, 5 p.m. Eastern. I don't do Pacific time because I don't math, as everyone knows. But obviously, your co-host there, Connor Mack, as well, giving out his looks. It's going to be a whole lot of fun. And he gave out a little Arkansas as well, which I am on now. So it's going to be fun to see how that game progresses. Do you have any final word before we get out of here? Before you get out of here, I guess.
Well, I'm just seeing what Billy's saying about Anton Hudobin's been confirmed for Chicago. So the one thing Washington's been doing is scoring. So maybe that Washington team total. Maybe you got to bet. I probably will bet Washington team total in the over, split it up, because I think Washington now can definitely score. Anton Hudobin has not played in forever. He's a much older goalie. I'm reading that his numbers in the AHL aren't even that great this year, and he hasn't played a lot of hockey either. Not just in the NHL, but down there as well. So how sharp is he going to be? He hasn't played a ton. So, yeah, that could be trouble for Chicago tonight.
Yeah, that sounds like a bad sign. So it's going to be very funny as well. Bobano, thank you as always for joining us. And we'll see you today at 4 p.m. Central, 5 p.m. Eastern for the little college basketball. So it'll be a lot of fun.
Absolutely. Join me and Connor Mack, 5 p.m. Eastern, net profit. We'll go through the 4 Sweet 16 games tonight. Looking forward to it. We'll see you guys later.
Beautiful. Bobano there for us. DC Capper, we are doing college basketball kind of, like a mismatch this time, or this show, I should say. We started off asking Bobano about his kind of thoughts on the college basketball slate. And then I'm going to ask Billy, because I know Billy's going to be betting on a little college basketball as well. I just want to hear some overall thoughts from him as well. But we're not going to do game-by-game breakdowns like we usually do. That'll be net profit. So it'll be a whole lot of fun. And speaking of Billy Brisbane, he looks like he's in a lovely little spot right now. Giving little nightclub vibes, honestly, with the lighting, Maybe it looks like the lighting's even changing too. It looks beautiful. Let's bring him on right now. One old Billy Brisbane talking NBA, the association. You look like you're in a lovely spot there, Billy.
Yeah, man, getting the vibes ready. It's Sweet 16 time, Jose. You got to go dancing.
That's what it looks like. I'm ready to go now. That room makes me feel like I'm ready to vibe. Before we get into the NBA, I wanted to talk about the NCAA basketball games with you real quick, because, you said Sweet 16 time. I know you're trying to get that cash out there, Billy, and I'd look to know, what are you on today? What are you vibing for the NCAA games?
People might not like to hear this, but today's National Pet Your Kitten Day and National Puppy Day.
Oh, no!
Those will definitely play into my capping very heartedly, and do with that information as you would like. You can look at the logos and go along with the plan. It was already pre-written. We're going to cash these tickets today. You got one dog, one favorite. Sorry, Babano. Arkansas is going down. They're about to get smoked.
Oh, man. That's going to be fun. I can't wait.
My biggest bet today, actually, regardless of sport, is UConn Huskies minus 185 money line.
Ooh, that's gonna be fun. I cannot wait. There we go, Billy. A little UConn action. That's scary. I'm not gonna lie. That's terrifying that you've got the National Pet Your Puppy and Kitten Day there. That's in my capping as well there for you. Shout out to Sky.
Hey, man, last night was LGBTQ night in Miami, and Miami was smoking on those Knicks, man.
Hey. There we go. We love it. You have to take these nights into effect. They matter. You got to get the vibe and the atmosphere going. Shout out to everyone watching. Lucas Ryan, my Venmo is my name as well. If you want to buy us a beer, we appreciate you guys if you guys support. But donate to the channel. Do the donation to the channel.
And low key, last thing on the college basketball slate. I'm looking at live bet FAU at like the second TV timeout, so around like the 10-minute mark. Hopefully they'll be down and we get like plus 10, but like I think they can backdoor cover. I mean, I like the 5.5. Is just I want to see how public that money gets on that.
All right, FAU as well. The villains of this Sweet 16 apparently for a little 360 dunk. That was all it was, a little dunky dunk, and now everyone hates them. Shout out to FAU. Shout out to Sky Dargan as well. Jimmy on the way over to San Antonio, Sky Dargan. We were just talking about your Carolina Hurricanes as well. So shout out to you, my man. So that's exciting. You've got a little, maybe a little UConn action there, a little money line action for you there. And again, pet your cats and kittens today, because today's the day, and all that good stuff. So that's fun. It's fun. Let's talk about the association, though. Quick 4-game card for us, Billy. It'll be a whole lot of fun talking basketball with you, because I can't stand the association. I cannot bet on the association. So I'm glad that you are here to help guide me. I know that these games are going to be hotly contested tonight, so it's going to be fun. You mentioned the aforementioned Knicks. Let's talk about the Knicks first against the Orlando Magic. 3.5-point favorites for the New York Knickerbockers. On the road, disappointing result, I guess, losing at Miami, but they're a zombie team, those Miami Heat, and they're terrifying to me as a Celtics fan, so I have no idea what to expect from them on a night-to-night basis. What do you think here is going to happen for this Magic game?
Well, today is a pretty interesting day because Thursday's the day before people get paid and stuff like that. So, and we have the NCAA card on today. So, to be honest with you, I think today's one of those days where a lot of these favorites are going to win on this NBA card, and you should just follow what favorite opened up at a certain line and then got smacked by the time of this morning, because a lot of sharp bettors bet on Thursday. And I'm going to follow the money here. Knicks are the most public side of the card today, and I'm rocking with the Knicks as the first leg of my 2-leg parlay. The Knicks are 11-4-1 ATS in the last 16 games overall, and historically been a solid road team, 35-16 ATS last 51 road games. Magic are 2-6 in ATS in their last 8 home games, 4-0 ATS in their last 4 games overall, though. But the Knicks are in second half of back-to-back after losing a competitive game last night. But they played pretty fine on the second half of back-to-backs. 22-7-2 ATS in their last 31 games on the second half of back-to-back. So we're rolling with the Knickerbockers here to beat the Orlando Magic.
All right, so this is it'll be a favorites day then. I kind of like that. That sounds like a good sign for parlays and such. I'm excited for that. Mike M with a great comment here. The New York Knicks are 11-0 against the spread when they are unrested and are facing an opponent they attempted more shots against in a previous matchup with the spread between 3 points and pick'em, I should say. So shout out to my guy Mike M there. Next spot. Can't wait to see how it goes. Let's move on. Next game, the Cleveland Cavaliers versus the Brooklyn Nets. These guys are playing again. I just saw Yuta Watanabe get posterized and baptized by Donovan Mitchell. They're going to play this matchup again? They're going to put Yuta in that kind of danger again? That's concerning. I would maybe rest Yuta so he doesn't get put on another poster by my man Donovan Mitchell. I don't even like Donovan Mitchell that much. And truthfully, it was not that big of a dunk. But shout out to him, man. That was a fucking poster if I've ever seen one. A little rematch here, are we getting some Rebenga here? Who's going to win this matchup here? I'm very conflicted with the Nets, honestly, because they get to make that trade and suddenly they're just a better team. And it makes sense because they've got better vibes. So what do you think about this game, Billy?
Shouts to my guy, MMA Locker Room in the chat. Rarely do we agree, but when me and Mills agree on something,
wow,
it's going to cash. The Mike M, though, is giving me a crazy stat, though. Brooklyn Nets 0-23 ATS at home versus a conference opponent that they went over with the total with in a previous matchup. That's a pretty strong trend. The Cavs this is the third time that they're going to be playing a back-to-back on the road against the same team. They're 1-1 ATS and straight up in the second leg of those matchups, and also 2-2 in their last 4 road games. While the Cavs have been dominant at home, not so much on the road, 16-19 and 2 ATS on the road, and the Cavs are just 3-7-1 ATS in our last 11 meetings in Brooklyn. This total feels a little bit low considering both of these teams are top 10 in offensive rating, second time seeing each other. It seems like a backwood.
Oh, good. Looking backwood this shit. Yeah, this is all those stats were just saying 50-50 for me there too, but shout out to Mike M. I love Mike M's. Like they might be a little like conspiracy. Like you've got like 3 like qualifiers in there, but they're pretty convincing when you throw out like an 0-23, no matter how you cut it there. So shout out to Mike M. As always. Backwood this game. Let's move on here. And thank you again, Billy, for joining us. I love the pace that we're going at because the NBA is hard as fuck to bet. And maybe not many people are betting it today because of the NCAA game. So Charlotte Hornets, New Orleans Pelicans here. 8.5 is a little heavy, I will admit.
Love it heavy. I thought the same.
A little heavy, a little aggressive because maybe the Hornets are shit, but I don't respect the Pelicans without Zion. So again, a little heavy, a little aggressive. Maybe we lean towards the Hornets just on first looks, but what do you think here?
The trends and data tells me to take the points here with the Hornets, but I don't agree with the trends and data. Trends and data don't pay the bills at the end of the day, because if that was the case, every nerd in America would be millionaires off of sports betting. The Hornets are 1-4 straight up in their last 5, beating the wounded Pacers team the other night, while the Pelicans are making a playoff push, blowing out back-to-back low-level teams. And while I don't agree with the line, I mean, the Hornets are probably in the same category as the Rockets and the Spurs. And the Pelicans are rolling right now. I want to back them here tonight. That's going to conclude the 2-leg parlay here. We got the Knicks money line, Pelicans money line, -101. We're going straight to the window with that one.
Yeah, yeah, I'm glad that we both agreed the points were a little aggressive. So you just went ahead and said, fuck it, I'll take the money line. I'm not going to sweat this. I like that look. I like
I think they win is just by like how many points. I mean, I backed them -10 against the Spurs, but I mean, you live in San Antonio. I mean, the Spurs are in the poster board right now saying we are tanking for Wadayama. Come on, baby.
Yeah. No, everyone. It's so funny that in San Antonio, it's like, oh, how are the Spurs losing? They're losing? Great. Everyone, a collective city unity on please lose every fucking game you can.
But then you still have the Sharps betting the +13s.
Yeah, I know. That was tough. That was a tough look yesterday against the I did chuckle when I checked the score. It was like 130 to like 98. I was like, fuck yeah, that's how you do it, baby. That's how you tank right there. Last game on our board, and a team that, I guess the Spurs are trying to achieve this glory of tanking because they've tanked and now they've got a solid squad here and they're going to be good next year. And I guess I'm wearing the shirt to end the show, which is great. Shout out to El Thunder here, Oklahoma City versus the Clippers. I am shocked Paul George didn't rip his ACL. He only has a knee sprain, 2 to 3 weeks. He's out, so probably will be back for the playoffs. I thought it was like, oh, there goes his knee. It's over. I was like, that's classic Clippers. But he'll be back hopefully for the playoffs. Now, I guess that's good news for the Clippers because if they got the news that Paul George ACL out for the year, it would definitely make me lean towards the Thunder. But maybe some good news in the locker room. I think Kawhi is going to play, but who knows with that fucking guy?
Kawhi's going to play.
Yeah. Okay. So good. So I assume so. Shea in the rebound or the rematch here. I guess the revenge thing. It's the trade. We all know that whole storyline is also going to be interesting. So I'm not a prop guy. Maybe you look over towards Shea props.
Nah, man. That I lost on the hook in that last game, and my bank account, man, I can't go back, dude. I get it. And I was thinking maybe if anything, a triple double here, and maybe you can go for like a big score because I know you cashed I think it was Dwight Powell, right? At the Dwight Powell double.
Yeah, so I know those fucking triple doubles, they come through for you and big prices too. So
I should have bet Austin Reeves last night, man. That dude's the truth.
It's hilarious. I think it's so funny that he's just now like the best player in basketball.
I thought he was gassed a little bit until Odell was sitting sidelines and he was putting the ball between his legs and crossing up a future Hall of Famer and making Chris Paul look real old last night. Lakers,
that was tough.
baby.
I was shocked to see Chris Paul looking that old. I obviously I don't watch the NBA that much. And I was like, Chris Paul, he'll dice up Austin Reeves. Austin Reeves like fucking 10 inches taller than the dude, but no, Austin Reeves just he tries hard. And
dude, it's crazy, man. They had an assist prop yesterday at 3.5, and he covered it halfway through the first quarter.
There you go. So there's some Austin Reeves chatter for you guys. Keep taking advantage of this guy, I guess. So shout out to him. Do you have anything on Clippers Thunder here, Billy? Because
this is a weird game, man. It's like the books are trying to close this number on the Thunder to really try to tempt bettors to bet the Thunder because they're 7-1 ATS in their last 8 games versus the Clippers. But they've been covering. They covered the last game earlier this week, almost nearly winning that game. But the Clippers without PG-13, at least sometimes towards the playoffs. I mean, I think there's a little bit of value in the Clippers here tonight, honestly. They're 8-1 straight up in their last 9 home games versus the OKC Thunder. Don't be fooled by the line. I mean, -3 to 4 points is damn near one possession. So I'm looking at straight up trends, not really ATS trends. And straight up trends are telling me Clippers money line.
All right. I like how you bet the NBA, or you are betting the NBA today, because you're just like, fuck the points. We'll just take the money lines here, make our life.
Yeah, we just want the winners, Jose. Why are we getting cute with the +9s and the -9s? Like, I get it. The Hornets could be a sharp +9. I just want the winners. We already know what the winners are going to be in college basketball today. We just got to connect them with the NBA card, and we get the pot rolling over to the weekend because it's time to start dancing. It's Sweet 16 season.
Yeah, I mean, hell yeah. Like, fucking look at your background right now. Again, the vibes are high with that background. I feel like dancing right now. We're all good. It's going to be a great time. Billy, I appreciate you for joining me. I know you've got some pressing bets to make. I'm excited for you and your day. It's going to be a whole lot of fun. Where can the people find you at?
Yeah, find me over on Twitter at Getting Bills, and then probably be live over on Instagram. You know how the Instagram things go, just random live streams up and daily. And shouts to Jeff, man. Jeff was on the Instagram live with Cash over the weekend for a very long time on Saturday. They were doing the cards. So make sure you hit the like, subscribe over here on Pub Sports Radio. We're doing bigger and better things.
All right, beautiful. Thank you, Billy Brisbane. We appreciate you as always for joining us, and you have a lovely, lovely background. All right, Sonny, you ready?
Oh, I'm ready.
Okay, all right. Let's bring on our guy, Sonny. He's a little nappy, a little tired boy.
Exhausted.
Yeah, but we're gonna have a fun time with Yield Sonny Dollywald. Let's let's just all clap your hands in there. He's our Sunday comedian. A good. You don't even need. We're talking here. I'm wearing them now just for show at this point.
Okay.
But we're talking together. It's a good time. Sonny, how are you?
I'm tired. I'm very tired.
You sound like it. You sound like me after yelling for 3 straight days.
Yeah. when Venezuela lost to the States.
Okay, all right.
Hey, these are just
Let's
facts.
let's
everybody.
not start this out
These
being.
are facts.
Let's not start this off this way, Sonny.
Okay, I'm just
I like you. I don't want to sabotage your comedy show. Cut the mic somehow if we keep this way.
I would love it. I still get paid.
Okay, wait, fair.
You know?
You know what?
Yeah,
Hands up.
You know,
I'm
5
fair.
minutes and you cut my mic, or if I do an hour, it's still good.
Sonny, how are you? How's
yeah,
we haven't seen you in a while.
I'm great.
A year actually.
Yeah. I think a year.
Yeah, because it was
Yeah.
last Pubapalooza, so it was
Yeah,
great.
very tired.
Right.
Did a red eye just cause.
I love a red eye.
Yeah.
I love a red eye.
Tailing all of my picks. I'm not making any picks. I'm just here for entertainment right now.
What?
I'm too tired to make picks.
What? We're not getting your expert college basketball. I'm sure you have K-State thoughts.
Hey, this is the year where Princeton, baby.
Yeah.
That's
Shout out to
what-
Smart Whites.
that's
Let's
who-
go.
who I'm going for. Yeah, they're rigging it.
No,
sure.
it's the Illuminati.
Shout out to
right
Viper, man.
Yeah, and by the way, shout out to Matty Ice as well. He's on Sparty, of course. He's the Michigan State guy. Shout out to him. And he's on UConn -4.5. That's going to be a great game. So many people on the opposite side of UConn and Arkansas. Sonny, you're obviously our guy on Sunday night.
Yeah.
People know you do comedy. One people say, that's what I've heard recently.
I mean, that's what it says on my taxes, but I mean,
that's
comedy's
also
subjective.
You also have it on your Twitter too. Shout out to Sunny D Comedy. That's a great Twitter
right.
name.
Yeah.
I've said it in my head like 16 times since I saw it. I was like, wow, Sunny D Comedy.
Also,
That
my
makes sense.
Instagram. Also, my TikTok.
Plugs.
Yeah,
Oh, you
of
got
course,
a
of
little
course.
TikTok.
Got a little TikTok. I bailed on it quite early, but I shouldn't have.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure.
So here's what happened. Just so everybody
Sure.
knows, I did my first TikTok.
Sure.
Hilarious,
Great.
unbelievable, best TikTok you'll ever see in your life.
Why? Sure.
970 views.
Okay. Yeah.
I do my second TikTok. Garbage. Terrible. 190,000 views.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay,
Okay.
don't know what I'm doing here. Then someone, I'm sure they didn't see mine, but basically did exactly what I did for the first TikTok.
Sure.
48 million views.
Okay. Yeah, I can see it. I can see why you don't like TikTok. I can
Yeah.
see it. I can
Yeah,
see
yeah.
it. Hey, but you're back now. Congratulations. I'm still
Thank
not a talk guy. I'm still not there.
Yeah. I just need to do it.
Yeah,
Apparently,
that makes
you know?
sense. That makes
Yeah.
sense.
Like the people that are doing TikTok are doing like theaters, and I'm doing San Antonio pubs.
Good. See, I like how Matty Ice is doing the classic. You're a comedian. Make us laugh.
Right.
Make us laugh. Ha ha ha. See, I like that. See, that's a good one. No, what?
Matty Ice, come to the show. Come
Yeah,
on Sunday.
yeah, Matty Ice, you
Yeah.
bastard. What can people expect from your comedy? Because I don't know what to expect. I don't know. I think your comedy is just you having a regulated conversation with us. I think you're funny. So
Yeah.
hand up to me. Sorry.
Yeah, no, it's kind of like that. It's kind of
Okay,
like that.
good.
It's a mix between real life stories and then me talking to the crowd. So,
Good.
so if Matty Ice is there, I will be asking you a bunch of questions.
Good. Our other question, because we can talk about him because he's not here.
Jimmy?
Yeah, we can talk about Jimmy.
Let's talk about Jimmy.
Because obviously you've known Jimmy for a long ass time.
Jimmy was the host of my very first comedy show.
Yes. How did that go?
It was great.
Was it?
Yeah, absolutely. It's on YouTube.
Oh, okay.
But here's why it went great. It was right when this was in 2007, so like Facebook had just come out.
Okay, yeah.
Right. Well, I mean, not could just come out. Obviously, it was out, but like Facebook events meant something. Right now, I get like 14 every day. I don't even look
Yeah.
at it. But I said, "Hey, I'm going to do stand up for the first time," and half the crowd were friends of mine.
Oh, wow. Look at Facebook.
Yeah,
Maybe
so-
Facebook isn't so bad. Well, now it is.
Now it is. Now it's just
Now it
garbage.
is. Yeah. We don't ever.
Do we have more questions? I just can't see from. my
No,
phone.
yeah. The people are asking to show my tattoo now. And
Yes,
all
I
this
want to
stuff.
see. People want to see it.
Yeah, no, this is it. It looks like a Dorito from far away, but yeah, no. Shout out to me. I've got the numbers on there. Oddly enough, because everyone knows I'm a big weed guy, I now have 420 tattooed on me.
You have 420? Oh, right,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
of the okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
yeah, I was
420
like, what?
feet away. Yeah.
Are you a big weed guy? I feel like you're not a big weed guy.
No, yeah, that's what
Your face says weed.
That's what.
Sorry, yeah. But
is that just my eye just fucking blitz?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's fair. Yeah, no, definitely.
Matty Ice, yes, it is Fenway.
Yeah. Is that a baseball field? Yeah, it is. Shout out to you, Matty. No, so we were talking about Jimmy, and by the way, shout out to me being a weed guy. Almost got by the police yesterday. Shout out to my expired registration. Shout out to me. But one Jimmy the Bag here. Are any of your jokes like Jimmy related? I guess I should ask. Like,
No.
are there experiences from Jimmy that are on your set, or is there a funny Jimmy story you have off the top of your head?
I have like great Jimmy stories.
Okay, beautiful.
Yeah,
Beautiful. I want to hear a Jimmy story because
this is not in my act or anything.
Okay,
like that.
yeah, no spoil.
Fantastic.
See, this is our puppet dance. I got him now.
Yeah, this is just normal everyday Jimmy story. Well, first I'll tell you this. I come to this country a lot. I like coming here.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Welcome.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Yeah, I'm glad you got through customs. It's a bitch.
Actually, that's what the story is about. So I get pulled into secondary.
Sure.
This is a while ago, and I'm just like, I travel every week. What the fuck are they pulling me into custom? Like me in secondary for?
Yeah.
This is bullshit. You know what? It's because I'm brown. 100%.
Yep.
That's what I'm thinking in my head. But obviously, I just go through the rigmarole.
Mm-hmm.
They look at all my bags and stuff. And I missed my flight because they're taking so long. So now I got to like rebook the flight and everything like that. Check my bags in again. And I'm pissed.
Sure.
Right? The whole flight. I just get there. I tell my friends, hey, sorry, I'm late. Customs.
Keeping
super
the brown
racist.
man down, yeah.
Keeping the brown man down.
Thank you.
I go into my hotel, open up my bag. I stuff my shoes always with socks and underwear and everything like that to keep the shape so they don't fold in the suitcase. Anyway, take it all out and just inside the shoe, just bags and bags of mushrooms. Yeah, it wasn't because I was brown. They were doing their job. They were doing they're doing their job.
Okay.
I got flagged for a reason. Luckily, I was fine. They didn't find anything because apparently no one looks in the shoes. But yeah, that was my fault.
Yeah, well, fair. You just throwing in mushrooms in your bag. I get it. As a guy that does maybe sneak some weed products through his bag. That is terrifying.
But you sneak weed products and then travel in the States.
Yes, yeah, no,
What I did was insane.
Yeah, no,
yeah. Well, like
you're crossing the international border. You're a drug smuggler.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then here's the stupid part. Instead of just leaving them where I was at, because my friend, it's legal in Canada, I could just go buy a suitcase full. I took them back with me.
Okay. Well,
yeah, put them back in the shoes.
All right. Wow. I love a little Sunny D comedy hour. A little Sunny D.
I can't believe it. Why would I do that?
Well, I get it. You want your mushrooms. Mushrooms.
Still haven't had them yet.
Oh well. Hopefully
maybe this weekend.
But I can assure you, I do know some people that will be bringing mushrooms. So shout out to them. Shout out to
here's the Jimmy the Bag story.
Okay.
So I'm doing my first ever Canada-wide tour.
Sure.
And my friend works for Bacardi at the time.
Shout out to Rum.
Yeah. And he gets me this really exclusive bottle and a little card says good luck on your tour. Really good friend, this guy. And I'm like, oh, nice. I don't even drink. He's like, trust me, this is the best rum you'll ever have.
Great.
I'm like, okay, great. And I go see Jimmy on the eastern leg of the tour, and we open it up, and and it's the best rum ever. It's fantastic. I have to get on a flight, and I'm not checking my bag, right? I have a checked bag, and then I have all this stuff, and then I'm trying to make it really cost effective. So I'm like, I'm just gonna take this carry on.
Yeah.
Can you hold the bottle for me? And he goes, yeah, no problem. Plus, him and I are meeting after I'm done the East Coast leg. We're meeting in Ottawa, right, the nation's capital.
Shout out to Ottawa,
right? And yeah, shout out to Ottawa. He lives 5 hours away at the time. He's like, yeah, and he's on the show, so he's like, yeah, I'll just meet you there. Great. So I go and do the Eastern leg. I'm like, hey, so bring my stuff. He brings my stuff, no bottle. And I'm like, why? What is the bottle? And he goes, oh, don't worry. Let's, I forgot it. Don't worry. I'll buy you another one. We'll go to a liquor store. I'm like, bro, you can't find this anymore. And we're scouring the thing. And I'm like, oh, don't worry about it's fine. I'll just get it when I get back home. And then he just looks at me and goes, I drank it. Okay, there. Are you happy?
I drank it.
Yeah.
Hands up. You got me.
Yeah, you got me. Is that what you wanted to hear? I'm like, no, I didn't. I didn't want to hear that at all. And then I'm just like, so like, what happened? Like, I'm like, throughout the day, I was like, so what happened? Like, did some of your friends come over? Was Babs over? Were you guys having like a poker thing? And you're like, hey, this is the only bottle I have, right? Like, what happened? Like, tell me, like, I want to enjoy this story.
Sure.
Thinking it was like a wild party. And he goes, I was upset and I just went in my room. It was dark and I just drank the whole bottle by myself. There, are you happy? I'm like, none of this is making me happy. I didn't like any of this. I didn't like it when you drank the bottle. I don't like it when you drank it out of depression. Yeah. I'd rather you have like, strippers and like you made a rap video and poured it on them. That's what I like.
Good.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to ask Jimmy immediately when he comes in here in like 2 hours or whatever now. I'm going to be like, Jimmy, do you have any bottles of alcohol we can just take from you and drink now?
I'm sure he doesn't even remember.
Yeah, no, I guarantee you he doesn't. He doesn't. Okay, good. Beautiful. No, I love props. This is great. This is a fun time. See, maybe he's going to be like, who's it? Carrot Top and bring out some kind of prop or something. There we go. Okay, beautiful. Beautiful.
Ever since that story, anytime I go and see Jimmy,
oh man,
I always bring 2 bottles now. Just in case he decides to take one and drink it. This is what I do for Jimmy.
You should label them too. Like, you have a label maker say Jimmy's bottle. That's good. No, hey, that's being prepared. That's being prepared. Shout out to you.
I'm going to label them not Jimmy's and still not Jimmy's.
Yeah, and then you know what? He'll crack one open still and just take it down. He's liable to take one down on his own.
Also, how stupid of me to buy 2 bottles of Tito's at the duty free when I'm coming to Texas and it's made here.
Yeah. No. Our good guy, Nasty Nate, Rhode Island guy, he was shocked to see that we sell alcohol in our grocery stores.
Oh, yeah. No, that's why I love your country.
Yeah, I was like, that's weird. I was like, what?
Yeah, no, it's great here.
Yeah, it's a one-stop shop. Shout out to HUB.
Yeah, man.
It's going to be fun. It's going to be a whole lot of fun. Sonny, I appreciate you for joining me as always.
Thank you.
It was great.
Thanks for having me.
No problem. Do you have any NBA takes you want to get off your chest?
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, LeBron sucks,
join me on Friday. I'll be live with Jimmy the Bag.
Oh, boy.
Giving my picks.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I have to take a look.
Yeah, it's going to be good.
I'm tired, man.
Oh, I get it. Hey, it's going to be a fun day for us, and Friday is going to be especially long. I'm sure you'll enjoy the strip club slap boxing thing.
I honestly can't wait for you hosting that.
Yeah.
I can't wait for the golf.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun.
Right?
You're
The
big
golf.
as hell, so it's gonna be interesting to see you golfing.
Yeah, because I didn't bring my clubs, obviously, but it's only a par 3. I think.
Yeah, no, you'll be fine.
I'll be all right.
No,
hopefully they have long clubs.
I hope so. I hope so too.
I have to re-grip mine and lengthen mine.
Yep, that's
re-grip and lengthen. We've heard that a bunch.
Wow.
Talking about penis.
Oh, okay.
Size. Okay.
Yeah.
And then I'm sure we have something during the day, right? The show, and then the slap boxing.
Yeah. No, I don't know what's gonna happen there.
I just want to see you host.
Well,
your reaction to someone getting knocked out.
Again, I'm a holy child, I guess. I don't know. I've never seen someone get knocked out in front of me like that. Yeah. I've obviously never been in a fight because these hands are made of pillows.
Just the way you held up your fists, I can tell you've never been in a fight.
I would be like a 1980s character. I would come at someone like this and just why I oughta someone.
Oh man.
Yeah, no, I mean
that was adorable.
If someone wanted to rob me, they just easily can. I'm a coward. I give them all my money, whatever. The only thing I would be happy to or not happy to lose would be my Apple tags. I need those.
You could find where they were.
Well, what am I going to do? I'm not going to tell the police officers. They're not going to help me either. We know they keep the brown man down, etc. We went through this already. Right. But yeah, Sonny, thank you for coming on again. This is, everyone's used to having betting with the bag, have a 3-hour show. No, we get you out in a nice hour and a half. We give you some NBA plays. We talk about some college basketball, and again, 4 p.m. Central, 5 p.m. Eastern for a little net profit, and we get out of your hair. So it's going to be a lot of fun. Is there something you would like to leave our lovely fans with?
I think we should plug the Sunday show. I don't know how the tickets are going. I don't even know what it's gonna be like.
Honestly. No, that's a great.
Honestly, don't even worry about it. Don't come.
Sunday, he does some stuff. No, just come to Southtown 101 on Sunday, and maybe you'll find a comedy show there.
Yeah, there you go.
You know, find some like
And I'm gonna be here until Monday, so just come and hang out.
Yeah.
I have 2 bottles of Tito's that are gonna get drank by Jimmy, and I need your help.
Okay, beautiful. By the way, just a little Jimmy update. They just got to Houston, so shout out to them.
Oh, they got a layover in Houston?
Apparently, yeah. So maybe he's actually watching the show right now and just thinking.
I think I'm the only one that watches this show at the airport.
You know what? Actually,
it's my
that's
favorite.
facts.
Yeah,
That
it's my
is
favorite
facts.
thing to do.
You are a frequent viewer of the show, especially when. What's your favorite airport, by the way?
Favorite airport? Oh, good question. I mean, Vancouver is beautiful.
I've heard very poor things about Canadian airports.
No. Like Canadian airports suck.
Okay.
But like Vancouver's is beautiful.
Okay.
Pearson is a mess. Yeah. What I mean, I wouldn't say I love an airport.
Well, I mean,
I love airport lounges.
Okay.
Heathrow. You know what? There you go. Heathrow. London. Shout out.
Wow. Look at you, fucking traveled ass
Yeah,
man. This guy's passport stamped. Stamped.
Yeah, and a couple of pages ripped out from customs.
Oh, that makes sense. That makes a whole lot of sense. All right, guys. We'll catch you guys tomorrow. James the Bag, Jimmy the Bag, right here, right in these very seats. Sonny, you'll be back tomorrow.
I will be refreshed.
Yeah, you actually will
actually get some sleep.
Oh, actually, and tonight we're doing a live stream too. So
I gotta. Yeah, I'm gonna sleep,
yeah.
then get up, and then I got that podcast.
Yeah, hopefully, I hope
the
she's
live
not
stream.
in jail. So that'd be nice.
Oh yeah. We have another.
Yeah.
Another potential.
Yeah. Again, keeping brown women down too. We're all in this together, guys. We're all in this together, guys. But we'll catch you guys tonight, tomorrow, a full weekend of Pubapalooza waits. Catch you guys next time.